What's up, everybody? Ryan here, coming to you from South Euclid, Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing real exciting going on today except a couple of pre-assembled blower housings getting replaced in these 2 York units. Nothing too difficult, but I'm fine with that because it's Friday. Got Ryan here with me, the other Ryan. So it's a double assault on Cleveland today from the Ryans. But yeah, we're here in South Euclid, Cleveland. Like I said, no super technical stuff going on today, but I'm gonna bring you along. It's currently 37 degrees and Ryan's already got to work while I'm making videos. I thought this was interesting. The disconnect mounted at a 45-degree angle, but it is what it is. So yeah, York is kind enough to send us blower housings, shaft, bearings, wheels already put together. We should be good on this. The only thing I recommend if you ever do these is just make sure everything is good and tight. All the bearings are tightened down, the wheel is tightened down, and your brackets are tight. But other than that, should be a pretty easy day. Someone wrote it up that the bearings were loose. Got some warmth coming out of this unit. That's nice. So let's take a peek here. Oh yeah, bearings are completely shaking back and forth. So. And for anybody out there saying, you could have just replaced the bearing, hey, this is what they ordered, this is what we get, right, Ryan? Yep. I'd love to just replace the bearings, but as many of you know, I just get to work and they deliver the parts to wherever we're going. So I've got no say in that. I didn't write this up. So here we go. I was disconnecting the zip ties here, and as you can see, this wire was setting right on the bracket and was very close to a rub out. Would have been a short, definitely would have blown a fuse or tripped a breaker. So we'll have to address that, get that all wrapped up with tape. I don't see any point in cutting it, putting in a butt connector. It's not worn through all the way to the copper, but that will definitely need to be addressed. All right, and as you can see, I left the motor mounted to the adjustment plate, all the brackets to make your adjustments. I just left right on there. Now that the blower's removed, it's a good time to take a quick peek at the heat exchanger in places you might not be able to see normally. Our complete blower housing is on the tray that slides in to this rail here, and then the one that I removed here. And I'm gonna go ahead and make sure everything's tight on this one. Remove the screws. Little swap out action. Look at that. Ryan's already moving on here. All right, guys, so as you can see, my wheel, the concave on the blower wheel is correct. And in rotation this way, it's gonna pull air in the side and shoot it out here. Doing a final check on Ryan's wheel. And it is in fact in backwards. If you can see the way the scoop is on the blower wheel, and the arrow is pointing this way, his wheel is in backwards. So everything should come apart pretty easy, considering it's all brand new. But that's a good reason why you should check, because if we threw it in and fired it up, we would have realized that it is in backwards. So even from the factory, give you guys another look here. That wheel is definitely in backwards. The whole thing needs flipped out and turned around. What a shame. We were on such a roll. So we'll pull that apart, get it all buttoned up, and we'll still be making good time, I think. And I'm gonna get mine slammed in and we will continue on with his, but these are pretty easy. All you got to do is remove the screws around the perimeter of the outlet of the housing and just put it in place. All right, so we got one of the locking rings off of the bearing. We're gonna flip this thing upside down and try not to, actually we'll just flip it on its side. See if we can't get this second one off. They like screw on oblong. There it is. Yep, there it is. So the bearing itself, let me flip this up, is not a perfect circle. It's oblong. It's thicker on one edge and on that, and then this locking ring screws on, and once it's locked on, that's when you tighten down your set screw. So all we need to do now is loosen up these set screws. Hopefully we have one long key stock that goes all the way through. I've had them fall inside the clamshell of the blower wheel before, and that can kind of be a nightmare. You got to shake it around, but as you can see, things are pretty loose. If we get hung up anywhere, that's where the file comes in handy. We can file things down. So I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna loosen up both of these set screws, and then hopefully this will all pull out. We can flip that wheel around and get it all put back together. All right guys, we got the blower wheel unlocked. We had one long key stock in there, so I like that. A lot of times there'll be two short ones, and you have the chance of that falling inside of that clamshell. Everything's loose, so hopefully it slides right out. Beautiful. Perfect. Ryan's already got the sun hook. So if you can get an overhead shot here, Ryan.
Yeah.
You can see the wheel was in this way. And if you look at the concave vanes of this blower wheel, that's not correct. It has to pull that air in and move this way. So now that blower wheel is set correctly to go back inside this housing. So we're simply gonna stick it back in. Get that fed through. Now we can get that key stock put in place. Everything lined up there. I should be able to tilt it up. And feed it through our other bearing. But you gotta get everything lined up so you can get it through in one shot. There. Shit. Key stock fell out. There we go. All right. Now I made a mark here on the shaft so we know exactly what distance we have to pull that in. All right. So now we're in. Bearing back in place. Always lock down your bearings first. Then you can center that blower wheel where you need it. We already know the depth we need to be at for our shaft, so we're gonna put this bearing on first, lock it down, then lock the other bearing down. Then you still have play with your blower wheel. You can center it right in the middle and make sure everything's dead set. All right guys, so we got both bearings locked down, and like I was saying earlier, you get your depth here, and then you can lock down both bearings, and then you're able to center this wheel once both of the points are locked down on each end of the shaft. So your shaft's not going to move within the housing, and that gives you the ability to adjust the blower wheel and get it right in the middle of the housing, right where you want it. I generally just kind of feel with my fingers, but now we can confirm before we lock it down The blower wheel is in the correct way. I'm moving it, I can feel air blowing up at me, so it's pulling it in. So straight from the factory, blower wheel was in backwards. I think we talked about that before we put it in and how it's always good to double check, and I'm glad we did, and we didn't have to install it and get everything zip tied together and get it in and run it in heat and realize it's not actually blowing. So that's it. Little unforeseen modification to the day, but not a big deal. So we're gonna go ahead and lock down both of those set screws inside here, and he's gonna be good to go ahead and put it back in place. Right, getting her in. I got mine half hanging on. I guess one good thing that I just noticed is the shaft. I think that's where some of the confusion was on my measurement earlier. They have keyway cut in for both sides, so I guess you can't mess it up. I mean, you could mess the length up, but you can't put the shaft in backwards because you can put a pulley on either end. So we are good. This one I did confirm, blower wheel is in the correct way. That's the one we reversed, and we're all good. So we've got it in place now. I did check that heat exchanger just to make sure. I mean, we can check it from the opposite end, but this one's in good shape. So I am going to pull this back out a little bit. That way I can get my motor pulled back down, get my brackets bolted back in place. Trying to figure out where we're going to eat lunch today. I believe I have a limit switch I need to take off of this one and get put onto the new one right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, put all the nuts and bolts back together, get this motor mounted, and that's going to be about it. All right, everything's all tight, good. Get her pushed in there. Make sure you don't snag your wires up. What am I hanging up on? Jeez. Get these pushed up there. There we go. All right, we're in place. Don't forget to put your wires on your limit here. The blower will run immediately upon applying power. If you don't, belt nice and tight, nice and straight. Gonna get these wires zip tied back up, get all the screws back in place. We got drain traps to replace. Do we have contactors to do?
Yeah, we have one contactor.
One contactor, some traps. Oh, it's Friday. I'm gonna get these wires zip tied up, get all my screws back in place, get some traps replaced, replace a contactor, and we should be in good shape. It's zip tie run. We're all out. Yeah. There you go. All right. I'm currently wrapping that rubbed out section. I pulled it and bent it, and it's not broke through the insulation to the copper. So I'm just gonna load it up with a bunch of tape here, get everything zip tied back together. Use my little trick I learned from Bill Russell, the curious HVAC guy. Use the anchor point here for my zip tie, get everything buttoned back up. All the screws are in, not a single screw left over. That's always a good thing. Belt is nice and straight, everything is tight. Make sure you tighten down your pulley, because, I mean, make a note of it. Do it, take a picture of it, because it's a long ride home when you're thinking, oh no, I put the pulley on, did I actually tighten the set screw down? I certainly did. I know I did. So be aware what you're doing. Make sure you get every last bit of the job done and be convinced of it by the time you're leaving. So we're gonna kick this thing on and see if it's calling for heat yet. I'm assuming it is. The units have been off for a while and it's pretty cold out. If not, I'll jump it out heat or G and we'll watch it run. But this is one of those Johnson control boards. So we have, I think, I don't know, 10-minute countdown before it will even do anything. Protective layer, goodbye. Let's see here. All these contactors look good. A wiring mess here. Maybe I'll tighten up that wiring, make sure it's good to go. But Johnson Control JCI 119-second countdown to start up, so not a big fan of these control boards, the way that the low volt lands. Doesn't give you a good place to use a jumper wire. You gotta like strip back the wire. I guess if I had one of those Jumper Kings, I could use that with the piercing thing. Maybe that'll be something I invest in here soon. I'm not sure. I've never had a need for it really, but these are my least favorite for jumping a unit out, these Johnson control boards. So 79 more seconds and maybe this thing will kick on. If not, I'll jump it out. All right, so this one's good. Blower's running the right direction. We'll be checking amp draw and all that good stuff just to make sure. Fire it up. Did you have to jump it or did it come on its own? This one didn't? Oh, it did. All right, well, I got the blowers over there. We're gonna clean up this mess and then off to the next job. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon. That'll notify you anytime I got a new video coming out. Leave me a comment, hit like. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.